Hey everybody, it's Indigo and I'm back with a coin shop pickup. So was actually up in the Triangle area, and for those of you who aren't in from North Carolina, that's in the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, although we don't claim them, most of us. But that's up in the Research Triangle area, and I stopped in at Rare Coins of Raleigh. So I've worked with these guys before at the Raleigh show, which is always a really good one. I was unfortunately unable to make it to the June show this past month. I had some other things going on. I wasn't able to make it this year, but they run another show towards the end of the year. I think in November, about the third week or so in November. Also a very good show. But I'd never been in their coin shop, so I decided to stop in, see what they had going on, and I picked up everything you see here. The prices on these are not what I paid for them. They did cut me a deal. Everything you see here was $240, so $20 a coin. I did not have a loop on me because I hadn't exactly planned on doing this, but you see these three are marked as cherry pickers varieties down here at the bottom. I didn't verify these, and this one's also marked as a D over D. We'll look at these under the scope in a minute, but I didn't verify these. I bought them for 15 bucks. I wasn't going to pass them up, right? So what I did pick up was a nice 1960 proof. No cameo whatsoever, but just nice bargain bin type silver quarter. A 34D with the medium motto. Low grade example, but it is a tougher date, and again, not high grade at all. You see the rim is blending into the field of the coin, so not high grade at all. And then just a kind of decent, slidery 63 Denver, nice AU coin. Nothing spectacular. But let me zoom in a little bit. I was looking at the mint mark on this one. It looked like something was going on to the left and possibly the north of this one. So I do want to put that one under the microscope. I haven't done so yet. Like I said, I was just in there real quick, seeing what was going on. Had a pretty nice Lowell West Point in their bargain bin too. Again, this was marked at 10 bucks. It's probably a 65, maybe shot 66 coin. It might actually be a 66, but that's pretty nice West Point for 10 bucks. Gonna flip that one back over. Had a 34 light motto, which I did not have an example of. This is the hard one to get for 34. You have the medium motto, which is very common. So again, the medium motto right there, much more bold than this one. This is the light motto. This was basically the motto of 32. This is the motto of 34, and then the heavy motto is the the motto of 36. But I didn't have a light motto, so I went ahead and picked that one up. Had a pretty nice 43 Denver, not super high grade. There are some lines on it, so it may have been wiped, but I just like the look to it, like the tone, and again, kind of had a little bit of a suspect mint mark, so I wanted to throw that one under the microscope. Nicely toned 47 Denver. Don't really need this one for the collection, but I did like the tone, and I just wanted to look at it a little bit closer in hand. It is single-sided toning. I do like that. I kind of like the roll-ender look where you get the contrasting. There we go. That's the word. I promise I can speak English. The contrasting obverse and reverse, so nicely toned obverse. Mostly blast white reverse, got that one toning line. I guess it was probably in a flip that was torn. And this one you can probably figure out why I picked this one up. Just look at the tone on that obverse there, and it is all over this coin. And this one actually is both sides, and it's super attractive toned. The reverse on this coin, again, pretty typical. The reverse is probably, I'll say, a 66, maybe 6 plus. Might even be a shot 7. The obverse, I think it's very nice. I think it's probably a 6. My only concern is I think the luster is a little weak on the obverse, especially on the bust. So the fields have pretty good luster, nice cartwheel. You're just not seeing much of that on the bust of Washington. You see a little bit in the hair, but his cheek basically stays the same color. You're not seeing that cartwheel. Whereas if you look at this coin, the cartwheel is moving on the bust as well. This one, it's not really doing that. It is a little bit, but it's just not as strong. So there's a little bit too much terminal toning, I think, on the bust for it to get a 7, but they may like the color enough, and I mean, honestly, who can blame them on that one, that it gets a bump. So this one definitely will be going in, if for no other reason than the tone. Next up is the 39 Denver. Again, this was marked as a D over D. I did not verify it while I was there, but you can see there is something going on. Let me zoom in a little bit. Definitely something going on that mint mark. So probably is a D over D, but we'll look at that a little closer in a minute. And zoom back out. Now this one is 62 DDO FS 101. You don't need a microscope to see it. Look at the motto. Look how thick that is. And I will zoom in again. This one I could look at and say, yep, that's it right there. Just look at how fat the R is and the U and trust. Very cool coin there. I did not have one of those at all, and I was certainly not going to pass it up for 15 bucks. And like I said, even averaging out, even taking the toner tax out, 20 bucks. And this one was, you know, you average these two in, and all these coins are $20 a piece. So not bad at all. This one is AU, but it is a 64. And again, it's marked as a 101. We shall see. This is probably AU 55, 58. I'd say 5 with a shot 8. It's got some visible wear on the legs, and the obverse is not the prettiest, but it's got really nice luster to it, other than the high points. So look at that one under the scope. And this one, 64D, I actually have one of these in 65, I believe, but I wasn't going to pass up the chance, so I will throw this one under the scope as well. Again, this one's probably maybe in that 5 range, 55, 58 range. Not a lot of wear, but not a lot of luster either. So let me go ahead and move these out of the way, and I'll bring you back in, and we'll look at these under the microscope. Okay, so we'll go back in the same order again. We'll start with the 1960 proof. And I do not believe there are any varieties to look for on the 60 proof. I do need to focus it a little tiny bit. But this one's, again, it was just a nice looking example. Nothing, no cameo. It's not a grader. I just really, really hard to pass up for 10 bucks. I thought it was just a clean example. Again, not seeing anything, nothing crazy on this one, no doubling, but pretty coin, so glad to have that. Next up we have the 34D, and again there is the light motto, and it looks much stronger under magnification than it does in person, but it is indeed the light motto. And there are no varieties that I am aware of on the light motto 34D, and again it is a D. It's got that same filled D that the 32 Denver had. Again, you see the wear into the letters from the rim. Low grade example. Next up, the 63 Denver. And again, I didn't peg this one for a variety, but I did think the mint mark was worth looking into a little bit. The obverse appears to be normal. Got some definite circulation. And, hold on just a second. All right, now that the dog's in and maybe not going to come through the window, kind of interesting look on that E. It almost looks like there might be some doubling on the left side of this. You can kind of see a line right coming down from the top. Maybe not 100% sure on that one. Either way, I don't think it's a major variety if it is one. But you see the America there. Not seeing any doubling on the reverse. Nothing in $quarter, but there is the mint mark. And again, look over top, and I'll adjust the zoom a little bit. It's definitely weird looking. So it's almost like a sunken in, like there was a piece of the die about to break out. Looks like maybe a retained die chip right there, down at the bottom. Something was going on here. Maybe die basoning, I'm not sure. But I don't think it's a RPM. And not much to look at on this one. Although the W kind of looks weird, but I never really scoped a lull before. So pretty clean example, like I said. Maybe a few ticks here and there in the hair. Got some right there. One or two right in here. But overall, pretty nice coin for the price. And the reverse is looking equally nice. No chips in the tower, as you would expect, which these dies were treated much better than they were in Philadelphia. Not seeing any hits whatsoever on the reverse here. I don't know. This one may end up being a candidate to send in for grading. Not 100% sure yet. It's probably nicer than most of them, but I'm pretty sure I have a 67 Lowell. Okay, next up, I got confused. So this was the 34D, and I mistakenly said that was the light motto. That is not. That is the medium motto. This is the 34 light motto. See it? Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? That's why they went away from this, because it's practically invisible once the coin has any wear to it. Certainly not, ideal, because it is silver. They do wear. There is a very, very nice FS 101 double die on a 34. However, it is on the medium motto. So nothing to look for on this one other than the fact that it is a light motto. Next up, the 43 Denver. And again, kind of see some lines on it. They may be die polish, actually, looking at it. I have to look at it again in the light, but not seeing any doubling in the motto. Not really seeing any on the date. Or on Liberty. So, nice coin. pretty mark free for the most part. Not completely mark free by any stretch. But again, you see a little bit of something right over the D mint mark there, and kind of disappears a little bit at the angle. See if I can get a better image of it there. So there's something going on. It may not be a RPM. I am terrible with most RPMs. They're hard to tell to me, but I don't believe this one is. But it is a pretty nice example. Nothing I'm seeing on that one. Next up, the 47 Denver. And I don't think there are, well, is that doubling on the bow down there on the bottom, or is that dye deterioration? This looks doubled to me. So, see down there on the bottom of the ribbon, on the bottom of the bow, and that last little bit of hair? I'm not sure. I'm not aware of anything on that one, but it certainly looks like it. Of course, it also looks like dye deterioration because it's above and below, and it shouldn't be both. So I'm going to say that's probably dye deterioration. See how kind of pebbly the neckline looks right there? I think this might be dye deterioration. The T looks a little fat, but I think that might just be not completely filled in. I'll definitely check these against the Cherry Picker's Guide. I don't have it right in front of me. If I do find something, I will add it in to the end of this hunt or this highlight video if it does turn out to be a variety. Not seeing anything on this one though. Again, not seeing anything on the mint mark on that one. And then this toner, and man, is it nice. This 49D, again, I don't think there's anything really to look for on this one, on this date, but it is fairly clean. Again, you see some more of that. I'm thinking that's dye deterioration because it shouldn't have it on a 47 and a 49 unless it's just common. You see a little bit behind the hair. Almost need to take this one out of the plastic, but I really don't want to do that just yet. Just kind of show off the colors on it. It is all there. It is uncirculated. It probably needs an acetone bath just to get the stuff off of it. So, right, yeah, I think some of that's inside the flip. But very, very nice toning, very nice coin. This one will be in a graded holder eventually. Again, maybe not worth it, but I think with that tone, you kind of have to. It's just too nice not to just leave out in the open and risk going from that beautiful rainbow tone over to a terminal dark brown. Next up, 39 Denver. Maybe, I'm not really seeing anything on that. I thought I was seeing something on the back of this eye. I don't believe so. Nothing on Liberty. United looks normal. Everything looking normal there. Dollar looks a little weak, but maybe not fully struck. And then there is what they're calling a D over D. And I think I tend to agree with them, but again, it's very hard to tell. Let's see if I can get this to focus again. Yeah, see how it kind of looks different right at that top serif of the D. That one's probably going to have to come out. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's a cherry picker's guide variety on that one, but we shall see, and I will bring you back in if it is. Next up, the 62. This is the FS101 because, again, look at that. It is. There's no doubter. It's naked eye visible. This one is awesome. Little tiny bit of extra thickness on Liberty here. If I can get the flip out of the way. And I think there might even be a little bit. Yeah, I think there's a dye marker down there. But this one is awesome. I didn't have it. I do now. I'm glad. I don't care if it's a little bit circulated. Very nice one. I'll pick these up all day, every day. They're not the rarest variety. There's quite a few of these, I think in 64 and 5. But I'll take that one any day, all day. Happy to have it. 64 FS101, supposedly. So, and I do tend to agree with that. You see some splitting on the N there. If I can get, yep, the I, the N, the T. I think there's a small notch on the R. If I can get zoomed in on that a little bit. Maybe not. But I believe this one does look a little doubled on that. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll put it in the video. If it is, if I determine it is or is not, I will let you know right up there. I just think, looking at the O, I think it's too thick for it not to be doubled. It may not be the 101, but I think it is doubled a little bit. R looks kind of thick. So, and it is circulated. Again, you got some high point wear. You got United States. Looks normal to me. As does America. $quarter looks normal. This is obviously a type A reverse. And I'm not seeing anything on the Eagle. And then last is the 64D FS101. And I don't know about this one. I don't know if we're going to be able to tell. I think most of the 64D is going to be in like the N, the T, and the R, and they are unfortunately basically obliterated. Not seeing anything in Liberty there. This one I'm probably going to have to look for the dye markers, but again, I will let you know if it is or is not the FS101. And don't think it's an RPM either. I think it's just a little machine doubling. And it's definitely not a Type C. So I got some questions about this one and possibly the 64, but the 62 was a no doubter, and the 49D, that's an absolute grader. Possibly the West Point. So I'm very happy with these coins. Again, I will check them and let you know if they're varieties or not, or what they said they were or not in this case. But again, if you are in the Raleigh area, make sure you check out Rare Coins of Raleigh. And if you enjoyed this, please hit the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. And thanks for watching.